Hey ladies and gents, um, I'm going to be talking about this here in just a sec, and clear white balls. Just a bit of a bit first. These are the balls that are in the bucket. They're supposed to be 7 to 8 millimeters. So in a minute, I've already started to, but I'll put some more over, and I'll show you what the results for 7 to 8 millimeter clear balls is. I'm going to be slowly doing this for a lot of different ammo. I do it myself anyway, so I might as well videotape it and show you guys what sizes are actually in the packets and how much variation there is and so forth. These are all the blasters I've got. The most exy to date, I'd say, would be the Term B2 drum mag. I'm building some PQs at the moment. I'm going to be putting a camera that has an SD recorder, an SD card slot, so it can record, plus it'll be Wi-Fi, so you can send it to your phone. So you pull out your phone, you point your gun around a corner, take a couple of shots and you can see what you're doing. Or somebody off-site can be linked into your Wi-Fi and watch the game FPV style. So we'll see how that goes. All the bits should be here soon, and I'm hoping it all fits. I want a laser sight, an IR sight, the camera, and a torch, high power torch, all in that little box. So hopefully I'll get it done, but we'll soon find out when everything arrives. This one here is not a bad cheapie. That sniper rifle, it's black. We just put some camo wrap stuff over it. P90s, everybody gives them shit, but they are what they are. They're not too bad. They keep going. That's the main thing. Yeah, they're a bit slow, but whack in a little bit bigger battery and that pretty much, that helps out a lot. Desert Eagles, there's a bit of a variety in these. You got the tactical, which I've changed over the laser sight and the torch. I've also got pigtails on them, so you just squeeze the little button and they come on. I'm getting some more switches that are on, off and pressure, so they should be a lot better. I'm putting a lot of those on here because I like to be able to have a bit of a shot 24 hours a day basically. So if you want to go out at night and have a bit of a shot, you can. You don't have to bugger eyes around. And the night vision gear is a bit bulky to wear, so it's better off having it like this. Back to the Desert Eagles. You got your tactical, you got your standard, you've also got your Python Shaheen and the Golden Shaheen. So that's the torch and the laser that come with the standard tactical. Got to give a shout out to X-Force, by the way. He did help me out. I got a present for somebody, and somebody else stuffed me around, and he's helped me out with a couple of the Desert Eagles lately. So thanks very much for that. That one up there is not too bad. Had a bit of a go with that. So all of these are good. I've tried to put out one of each of these because a lot of them I've got a lot of, a lot of these are for kids basically, for us to just muck around with. The adults can sort of choose out a good one, but young kids, well, they can just grab one of these sort of ones, just the manual Desert Eagles or the manual Beretta or one of these, and I've got heaps of both of those sort of things. So well, all of those actually, the Berettas, the Desert Eagles and those ones, so got heaps of them. And a few of some of the other ones put away as well. Here's a heap of ammo that's being done, whatever the case may be. Now, ammunition, gel balls. So these are 7 to 8 millimeter gel balls. This is the rail. Now, I've marked on the rail where it says 8 millimeter, that gap should be 8 millimeters in there. Where it says 6 millimeter, that gap should be 6 millimeters in between there. Same as down here where it says 11, that should be 11 millimeters there. Now, to make them roll nicely, you've got to have it on a lean. So, how do you figure out where 6 millimeters needs to be, because they fall in an arc? Well, I've got a couple of marbles that I've got measured. One's an 8 and one's a 6. So what I do is I get these little marbles and I put them on the rails, and where it falls down, I'll make sure that if I've got, because it's 6 millimeter, it should fall right about here. So what I do is, from where it starts out to fall, I'll move the 6 back to there, so that I know that the 6 will end up in here, in that basket there, instead of in that one. And that's how I do it. And then I'll test the 8 to make sure that that does the same thing as well. So that's how I make sure that this is all gapped up properly, all of the sizes are correct, and then I test to make sure that the ball does go into the correct basket for how much lean is on the sizer. The smaller the balls, the more of a lean you've got to have it on, to be honest. But now I put my fingers over it and just open them up slowly so that a couple at a time come out. So and I don't know if you guys can see this, but most of these white ones, which are supposed to be 7 to 8s, are actually just over 7.5. Like, most of them are just over. But we are also getting them right up into the high numbers, 9.5. So they are actually getting up there a little bit. Now this can also be set to do 0.1 millimeter increments if you want. I've just got it set up in 0.5 millimeter increments at the moment. So every basket's 0.5 millimeter, all the way from 5.5 through to 13. Now, I know this is a bit slow and tedious, but I want you guys to see what the actual results are. Try not to let a heap go at once, because otherwise it can clog up and then it takes ages for them to sort themselves out. This way here, you know, you just let them trickle through. You end up going faster by going slower. Now also with this, if I take the caps off the milk bottles and line them up using little bits of PVC, they'll automatically fill the bottom 3 litre bottles. But you know, if if there's going to be bugger all, well, I might as well just use a smaller bottle. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm keeping the lids on the catches. That way it just fills up the catcher, and I can put it in whatever bottle I feel like. You know, if there is a heap, well, yep, no worries, I can put them into a 3 litre, but if there's bugger all, well, I might as well just put them into, say, a 600ml bottle. I've got heaps of different sized bottles, so just use the bottle to however many there are instead of jerking around later. So, alright, well, now let's see what the results are. So, in the 6ml, there's a couple. In the 6.5, there's a couple. In the 7, there's a couple of dozen, maybe 2 dozen. In the 7.5, we've got a huge amount. In the 8, probably about a cupful. Same in the 8.5, and in the 9, there's probably half a cupful, and 1 in the 9.5, and none in the others. So variation for 7 to 8mm clear works out to be from 6mm all the way through to 9.5mm. So there's how much variation there is. I'll get this out of the way. Stinking thing turned off on me then. There's how much variation there is between all of these. Now, like I say, 7 to 8mm clear. Alright, so if some of you are only supposed to be shooting 7.4s, out of 2 600ml bottles full of ammo, we've probably got 2 dozen that would actually fall within the range of 7.4. These ones here, between 7.5 and 8, are where the majority of them are. And then it's about equal placing between 8 to 8.5 and 8.5 to 9. So that could explain why some of the blasters are having troubles with feeding issues and etc. Alright, no worries guys, have a good one, see you later.